Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Vuolo have new perspective on 1st year of marriage. It was the hardest. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Have a nice day. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Jinger Duggar and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, are reflecting candidly on the early days of their union. During the Wednesday, September 18, episode of their Jinger and Jeremy podcast, the couple, who tied the knot in 2016, were both surprised by their revelations about their first year of marriage. "I'm looking back 8 years and going, that year was a breeze. But then you last night, no, I think it was the hardest and I think I agree with you," Vuolo, 37 said. "We faced so much adjustment and so much change." Duggar, 30 noted that the struggles had nothing to do with her and Vuolo. Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Vuolo's relationship timeline from courtship to married with children. "We got along super well," she said. "I would say there were challenges just from me adjusting. It was more like adjustment challenges." Alum shared that living with Vuolo for the first time and starting their lives together was the life change. It was leaving behind her big family in Arkansas for Laredo, Texas, that left her reeling. "I realized in that time I was afraid to go to coffee with a friend. I was petrified in fear of having to do things by myself because I had a security blanket of having people around me all the time, whether that was siblings or even a close friend," said Jinger, who is one of all of the Duggar family's courtship beginnings, from Jim, Bob and Michelle to Justin and Claire. "More, it was really hard. I had to figure out who I was as a person," she said. "I had the identity crisis of, I know who I was in my family, but who am I as an individual now?" Jinger was also beginning to re-examine some of the fundamentalist Christian teachings she'd been raised with. "I was realizing that some of these things that I thought I really held dear, like the teachings of I'm realizing I'm not believing that anymore," she recalled. And that was a huge shift. Jinger wrote a book about her conservative Christian upbringing, which was released in January 2023. In the memoir, she recalled being taught she needed to perform for her future spouse in order to keep him faithful, which resulted in her not expressing opinions during her first year of marriage. "Gently encouraged me to speak my mind and let him know if I didn't agree with something and to not apologize for that. He didn't want me to perform or be fake. He wanted me to be myself. More than once he said, 'Jing, you're not a step-forward wife,' she wrote. The first time he said that, I asked, 'What's a step-forward wife?' When he explained the concept, I realized he wanted me to think for myself and figure out what my convictions were and what I liked and disliked." Every time a Duggar child broke their family rules, Jinger wearing pants and beyond. Despite realizing in hindsight how challenging their first year of marriage was, Jinger said on Wednesday that the growth that took place over that time was huge. "We weathered those storms and we came out stronger," Vuolo added. Jinger and Vuolo share daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline Jo, 3. Jinger said during an episode of the pair's podcast last month that she's game to expand their family, especially with twins. "If we had another kid, had twins, I'd be down for it," she said. "I feel like it would be a lot of work initially, but then you also it's a faster way to have babies." Jill Duggar is offering a rare glimpse into her relationship with her parents, Ann Duggar. The former reality star and Counting on Alum is the 4th child of Jim, Bob and Michelle, but her relationship with her parents over the years has become admittedly complicated. Longtime members of the controversial religious organization known as the Institute in Basic Life Principles have become polarizing figures in recent years. After leaving the church her parents raised her in, Jill has spoken out against the organization on several occasions, including in her memoir and in the documentary, undeniably putting a strain on her relationship with her strict religious parents. The famous family has also been plagued with controversy surrounding their firstborn son, Josh Duggar, 36, who is serving a 12-year prison sentence after being found guilty of receiving and possessing child pornography in 2021. For over a decade, Roloff made an interesting revelation about the network's atmosphere of limited communication between cast members on different series. We talked a little bit about that with Jinger and how that would have been nice to have that communication with somebody else that was doing the same thing you were doing, Tori stated. "But we had a great time," she added of the pair's hangout with Jinger and Jeremy, calling them some great people. "Think that with that though, their heart was always to make us realize, okay, we want